Okay, you pile of Crash Bandicoots. There is a Japanese brand of organ effect amplifier manufacturer that I have a small, medium, maybe even large crush on called Acetone. And you probably they've got a couple fuzz pedals that go for like big fuzz money from the 60s, the Fuzzmaster 1 and 2, and occasionally you see the Acetone organs pop up for some real money. Acetone is the Japanese company that preceded Roland, and I believe that they have the same founder. And at some point, I would like to show you the Acetone collection that I've amassed. Here's a brief smattering. Here we've got a Acetone bass amp that is still in its fun shell, and then underneath I've got a solid Ace 8, two channels, reverb and vibrato, and like a dry channel. And right here I've got a solid Ace 3, solid Ace 5 in its cool shroud. And then over here I've got another solid Ace 5. Can you even believe it? How is he that cool is probably what you're asking yourself. And then here we have a solid Ace 3. And then here we have another kind of well-known situation called the Rhythm Ace. They were one of the first companies to make drum machines ever in the entire world. And they're interesting drum machines that are very charming and sound like ass. And in this box, I have another Acetone amp. And I thought that, gosh, wouldn't it just be the best if I chose to open it up on camera? Truth be told, it got here a little while ago, but I've just been running and gunning, people. I've been doing my thing, hoping you're out here doing your thing too, and I haven't had time to get to it. What do the solid Ace amps look? I thought it would be so cool if I could just like bang this out with my PV logo. That's not gonna happen. It's fine that it's not gonna happen. It's just the most crushed I've ever been about any topic in my life. It's fine. I have an actual box cutter. Can you believe it? And we're gonna see if we can't make quick-ish work of this. Either it's all gonna come together, or my battery is gonna run out on my phone because I'm living in the danger zone. You know what? I'm having enough fun here so far. I don't want it to end just because of some dumb battery. So I'm going to go get my charger. I didn't mean to start collecting Acetone stuff. But then one day, several years ago, when I was still just a baby amplifier enthusiast. Down, still under my feathers. No experience. Hadn't made any good decisions. Hadn't made any bad decisions. But had just started to enjoy the sweet smell of pawn shops in the morning. I stumbled across one of those solid Ace 5s. I thought it looked so neat, and I could tell it was from the 60s. And I think I wanted like $160 for it or something. So the guy that I bought this from on Reverb, yeah, dude. Okay, he's an American who lives in, I believe, Tokyo, Nagoya, and it's like Nagoya Sound or something like that. And I've been following his shop for a long time because everything that he posts is cool and dope. And so upon opening this package, I've gotten just some rad, like, just Japanese. I don't think any of these have anything to do with Acetone, but pretty sick to see Bonnie Raitt with a bunch of Japanese ad copy. Pretty sick to see 1980s Rolling Stones with Japanese ad copy. So that's fun. And Homeboy also put a little guitar pick on here. Says, thanks, Owen. Enjoy. Mark. Well, you're welcome, Mark. I'm so happy to buy this amp. So I only have, it was just, sometimes you receive a package and you can tell just by picking it up that that it's packed super duper well. Well, Mark, that's what happened with this package. You're just a straight shooting son of a gun, and I appreciate it. Mark sells cool Japanese shit that you would like pedals that he comes across, and weird tape echoes that don't have much of an American reputation, and so let me kind of wax philosophical about the it's so hot about the Acetones that I've got, which you can see a couple of. There are tube Acetones. I don't know a ton about them, but they exist. I only have solid state Acetones, and the ones that I have are not maybe dissimilar. It seems that some of the production decisions about how they kind of structured this amp line, at least the Solid Ace amp line, is maybe they're taking pages out of Fender's book, because it seems like they offered the same amp in a few different iterations and with a few different in a few different kind of power scales to it. So, and this is just judging by the control layout, and the control layout and the feature set on the amps are identical between the 2x12 Solid Ace 5, the head unit Solid Ace 8, and this head unit, the Solid Ace 6. So why did I make that comparison to Fender? Because in the black panel and silver face eras, you also see similar kinds of things. If you look to the different ways you could buy a twin reverb, which is something I've talked about on the channel loads of times. A twin reverb is the same thing as a super. It is a 2x12 100 watt most of the time combo, and you could buy that same amplifier in a different setting. You could buy it in as a Super 6 reverb. That would have a 6x10 combo cabinet, or you could buy it as a Vibrosonic as a 1x15, or you could buy it as a quad reverb as a 4x12, or you could buy it as just a head unit as a dual Showman reverb. So they were being cute and clever and smart in how they broadened their product offering without necessarily needing to broaden. Um, like the R&D and what the actual products were. This is just like Mark described. Apparently it works. But the vibrato, which is a pitch vibrato, doesn't work. And that must be kind of like a... I've got only one of the vibratos on all of them that I have actually works. So, we'll see. So here it is. This is what we got going. They're charming. They're charming little creatures. On the left-hand side, you've got channel 1, volume, treble, and bass. 2 inputs. I haven't played one of my Acetones in a little while, so I can't remember if one of these is padded or not. And then you have a similar, affected channel that has reverb and vibrato. Still a 2-band EQ with the same volume and the same 2 input setup. Over here is a slick little, what do I call it? They call it a tone selector. And what's actually happening here? It changes like the overall tonal characteristic of the amp, from darker to brighter. So is it like a fixed, like mids selector? Maybe. Is it? I don't know how it's accomplished because I really don't understand how these amps are built, and I've never really made the effort to know how these are built. The back panel, you always have a handy handle on one side, and then feet on the bottom and on one of the side panels. And I'm turning this as I hold it here on the back. Got a ground, what they call a I don't know if that's wood dust or what. It's kind of red. Hopefully it's foam from the packing material. And then they have what they call an AC consent, which is just sort of like a courtesy plug and perhaps like a funny translation situation. Circuit breaker, speaker, line out, and a foot switch options for your reverb, foot switch for your reverb and vibrato, and then you can actually set kind of the total reverb amount on a little pot that is hard to get to right this second. Here's something that's, I'm not going to plug it into a speaker right this second because I'm not really like set up to take it on display. So my guess, I've never had any of the Acetones that I have serviced. I play out with them really occasionally, but I just love absorbing them. And whenever they come up in North Carolina, which is not awesome, I always land them. These are not expensive amplifiers either for how fucking cool and weird and rare they are. This one that I just purchased is by a long shot the most I've ever spent on one. And I think pre-tax, I think it was like $200. I think it was like $200 with everything included, with like tax and shipping. Okay, tight. Here's another thing that I fucking love about these amps. Like, sure, you're a guitar ace, but are you a solid ace? Ugh, that's just so satisfying to me. I love the graphic design on the A. I love everything about these amps, including how they sound. I like solid state transistor amps. I like that a lot of times they sound. These are pleasant to me in the same way that or in a similar way as plugging into a channel strip on a mixer or a tape machine is. Like clean and crisp and almost like crisp in a way that reminds me of like plastic. Uh, they're it's not a great adjective, but I mean they really do. They are pleasant, and I do like the way that they sound. Um, a, a lot. But like I said, I've never had them serviced. None of them have 3-prong cords. They're not really like ready to go. It's just sort of like a labor of love, I guess, just because I think they're so fucking rad. And one day, when the spirit so moves me, I'll plug in a couple and show you some sounds. Um, I did record a cover of the Kinks' "Father Christmas" using the Acetone drum machine on a 4-track a couple years ago for our Christmas compilation that the label I'm on put out, and maybe if I have my head screwed on straight, I'll link that in the comments so you can get a taste of just how much and how little that machine can offer. I hope that you get a good night's sleep.